everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel. In this video, I'll discuss about Microsoft Bookings. Alright, so let's get into it. Microsoft Bookings is a web-based calendaring system that lets the potential customers and clients of an organization to view the services offered by them and accordingly schedule a meeting with them. When configuring bookings, you can decide whether meetings are going to be online or offline. In case you choose online method, customers will receive the Teams meeting invite link. Bookings is also available as an app within Teams, which allows you to create booking calendars, assign staff, and both schedule new and manage existing appointments without even leaving Teams. Right now, let's discuss about the licensing requirements. So a user must have any of these subscriptions assigned. On top of it, admins have to ensure that Microsoft Booking license is enabled for the user. Let us now discuss about the permissions that end users should have to be able to create booking calendars. So by default, the over mailbox policy in Exchange Online allows users to create calendar mailbox. However, if in case a user somehow cannot create calendars, you have to ensure that over mailbox policy is configured to allow booking mailbox creation enabled. So this booking mailbox creation enabled is a switch that you can use with the command get-mailbox policy, as you can see in the screenshot. So this shows that the default OVA policy has got this switch as true. Okay. One more thing to note here is if a user does not have OVA enabled, they cannot create a calendar. So OVA is nothing but Outlook on the web, which is the web version of Outlook. Further, if there is a requirement wherein admins have to block the user's ability to create booking calendars, they have to create a new OVA policy by running this command, which is new-OVA mailbox policy space -name followed by the desired name of policy. Once the policy is created, you can then run the second command, which will disable the booking calendar creation. As you can see, the switch is booking mailbox creation enabled, which you need to turn it to false. Once the policy is configured, you need to assign the policy to the user who is going to be prevented. So in that case, you can run the command set-cas mailbox followed by the user email address space followed by the policy name that you just created in this first command. All right, moving on. I will now demonstrate how an end user can create booking calendar. So for this, I'm currently logged in to office.com and then I'll click on App Launcher. Then I'll select Bookings. So from here, I have to click on Create New Calendar. Now I can either start from scratch or I can clone the settings of an existing calendar. Let me click Create from Scratch. So now here you have to define the name of the business or service that your organization offers. So for example, if my company offers human resources services, I can simply put human resources followed by the company name. Okay, so it's completely up to you whether you would like to use some other naming convention. Okay, and then I can select the business type. So depending upon what sort of business your company is into, you can select the one from here. Let's say I'll just choose other. The next option is we have to define the business hours of our company. So I can simply leave it as it is or change if desired. All right, I'll just click next. Here you have to add the list of people who are going to have permissions on this calendar. So let me just add a couple of names here. And then you have to define what sort of permissions they will have on the calendar. Now I'll just click next. All right. So being an HR business unit, you may have further different offerings that you would like to share or you would like to offer to your customers and clients. So for that, you can simply click on change and enter the service name. So let's say one of the HR's function is to recruit users. So I'll just put recruiting. All right. Now in the second option, it says service duration. So this means once a customer books a meeting, what should be the time duration for that meeting? So you have different options, whether the meeting should be for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour, and so on. Okay. And these are the days when customers would be able to book meeting. And this is the time. So a customer can only book between 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. And it's going to be a Teams meeting. Okay. I'll click update service and then I'll click next. Okay. So here you can define who would be able to book meetings on the calendar. So if in case you select anyone, that means anyone on the internet would be able to schedule a meeting. And if you just select people in my organization, that means no external user, which would be out of your organization, can schedule. And if you say no self-service, that means nobody would be able to schedule an appointment. Okay, I'll simply click create calendar now. As you can see, it's now being set up. So I'll just wait for some time. All right, as you can see, the human resources company name calendar is now ready. So I'll click on get started. So as you can see at the top, these are the list of people who have access to this calendar. Now I'll show you what all configurations we can make one by one. So in the left panel, I'll first click on booking page. So here on the booking page, the first option is configure booking options. So let's say I would like everyone on the internet to be able to schedule meetings on this calendar. I'll just click available to anyone. In the second option, which says business page access control, so selecting the first option will prevent your web page from appearing in the search results for Google, Bing, or any other search engines. If I put a check mark on second option that says require a one-time password to create bookings. If I put a check mark on this, this simply means customer will need to enter the OTP which will be sent to their email address to be able to successfully schedule a meeting. Okay, so let me put a check mark on both of these options. All right, moving on. The next option is customer data usage consent. So if you would like your customers to view data collection and usage consent, then you can put a check mark on it. This is completely optional. You can leave it as it is. All right, moving on. So the next thing that we have to define is the default scheduling policy. And the first option that we see is time increments. So time increments simply determines the intervals between appointments. Okay. So right now the default value is 30 minutes. If I change it to, let's say, 15 minutes, okay. So this means a customer could book a 60 minutes appointment at, let's say, 10 a.m., 10:15 a.m., 10:30 a.m., and so on. So at the interval of 15 minutes, okay. Now the next option is minimum lead time. Minimum lead time enables you to specify the number of hours in advance that customer must book or cancel an appointment. All right. Now the next option is maximum days in advance. If you wish to limit how far in advance customers can book appointments, then this setting is for you. The next option is email notifications, and under it, The first line says, notify the business via email when a booking is created or changed. This simply means when customer schedules a meeting, all the people who have access on this calendar will receive an email notification. Okay. The next option says send a meeting invite to the customer. This means when a customer schedules the meeting, they will also receive an email that your meeting has been successfully booked. Now the next option we have to define is staff control. So if I leave this first option checked, this simply means when customer tries to book a meeting, they can see the list of staff and accordingly they can choose a specific person to have a meeting with. Okay. Now moving on, it talks about the general availability. So this simply means meetings can only be booked if staff members are available. And if I select not bookable, that means if staff is booked, customers cannot book the meeting. Okay, so I'll just leave it to bookable when staff are free. And here you can define the color schemes for the meeting invite that customer will receive on their email. You can also define the logo for your business if you have any. And finally, you can define the time zone that users will see while scheduling a meeting. Okay, let me just save this. On the left navigation bar, I can now click on customers below bookings page. And as you can see, it is completely empty as of now because no customers have booked any meeting on this calendar. Right, moving on, which is staff. So in here, you can see the list of users who have access to this booking calendar. And once a customer schedules a meeting, it will land on either of the users that you see as team members, depending upon their availability. Okay. I can also click on any of these users and then further define whether they should receive email notification when a customer schedules a meeting. And I can even decide their business hours. Okay. So let me just click discard. Further, I also have the option to add new staff members by clicking on add new staff. All right, now let me click on services below staff. So here you can list all the services that your company is going to provide. So for example, another function that HR team does is onboarding. So I can just put onboarding here. You can put any description related to onboarding and then you can also put the location. So location can be any city or country. Further, if you put a check mark or if you just toggle the switch on, then it will be a Teams meeting that user will receive. The next option is send an anonymous meeting link to customers. If you put a check mark on this, then these staff members will not see the email address or any privacy settings of customers. Okay. Now you can also define the duration for this particular service. So let's say any onboarding meeting should not take more than 1 hour. So I'll simply put 1 and I'll just change this to 0. Now, if I talk about buffer time here, okay, there could be a chance that staff members would need time to prepare for meetings. Therefore, we can decide how much buffer time they'll need before and after each meeting. Further, the the free busy information of staff's calendar will also show as busy for the duration that you define here as buffer time. So let's say I just want staff to have at least 10 minutes of buffer time before and after each appointment. So I can do so by selecting this. The next option is pricing. So whether you would like to post any prices for the services that you are offering, you can define here. And then the last option is let customers manage their appointments. This simply means customer will have the ability to reschedule or cancel the appointment. If you just toggle this off, they cannot make any changes to the appointment. Let me just click Save Changes. Right, so this is how you can add more services as per your requirement. Now the next option is business information. So in here, you can put the business name or any phone number or the email address where you would like the customer's responses to be sent. And then you can also mention the business type. So let's say recruiting. In here, you can put the terms and condition URL of your organization, any business logo, business hours. Now we are ready to save our configuration and move towards the next step. Our booking calendar is ready. I will open the calendar now to see how a potential customer's experience look alike. So I'll simply click on back to all calendars and then I'll click share. I'll copy the URL and then now I'm just posing as a customer. So I'll open the URL. So as you can see, a customer can view the services that a company is offering. So let's say I'm interested in recruiting. Okay. Now I can select the staff member with whom I would like to have an appointment. I can select the date and time. Now going down at the bottom, a customer will have to enter their details. So let's say I'm just going to put some dummy information. So address is optional, phone number is optional, notes is also optional. So now I'll click book. So the meeting is now being booked. And as you can see, we selected the option for send OTP. So this system has now sent an OTP to this dummy email address. Once the OTP is entered, customer will click on continue and then meeting will get scheduled. So this is how an end user can create booking calendars and configure all the options that I have covered in this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel to get more informative videos that I'll post soon. And thank you. Bye for now.